Okay, Elden Ring nerds, we are back, and today we're taking down the Fire Giant. I'm just going to start off this video by mentioning, like, you see me coming from that site of grace right here, right? If that surprises you, which hopefully it doesn't, hopefully you knew that that was there, and, like, because it makes sense that there's a site of grace right outside of every fog gate. But I didn't know that. The first 5 runs that I did, maybe even more, for this boss, I was running all the way from that site of grace on the other side of this little plateau. So don't be a dummy. Go grab that site of grace. That's so much closer, and you're not wasting 2 to 3 minutes running back every single time. To start this boss in Phase 1, I really think you should be on foot. I saw some people on Torrent doing this, and I thought they were kind of crazy because I thought Phase 1 was fairly easy on foot. You're just trying to do power attacks and jump attacks to take out this little brace anklet thing that he has. I think it's like holding his foot on or something. But after you break that, you probably should do power attacks. I don't know why. I was just kind of messing around. I wasn't even sure that I was going to beat him on this run, and I was doing quick attacks afterwards. But if you do it right, you can not only break the anklet, but you can also break his stance, and then you can just, keep walloping away. But either way, after you break that bracelet, anklet, brace thing, he's going to actually start using his fire attacks. He'll put out that orb, which, be careful, because once he does like enough damage to it, or like it's a time thing, I'm not quite sure, it'll explode and it'll send pillars of flame. And most often after he like lays one of those orbs down, he's also going to shoot you with a burst of fire, which I found incredibly difficult to avoid. I know, maybe just learn from my mistakes. You want to dodge just before it hits you, but something about the timing really threw me off, and I struggled with it, man. So hopefully you don't. Hopefully you find it a little easier than I did. I don't know. But you can see that there's the pillar of flames after that orb exploded. He'll put down a lot of the orbs. My advice is to just kind of go after him. Like, see, he's putting down one right there. It's kind of easy to forget that they're there. And that one, I thought I just had a little bit more time, because usually he waits after putting down the orb. But maybe it's just a proximity thing, that if he puts it down and you get really close, he'll just go for it and explode that thing. I mean, there he is again, just shooting the flame at me. See how that time I was able to avoid it, and it was honestly because I was still in my drink lag, and so I didn't have the option to dodge early, like I just kept on wanting to do. So I almost kind of got lucky that he did it twice in a row there. But at this point in the video, you should have a general idea of how I took him down in Phase 1. There's really not too many surprises. It's just kind of rolling around his big attacks, avoiding the fire pillars, and rolling away from the impossible to avoid fire that he shoots from his hand. Stance breaks are super helpful. Obviously, I just did a massive amount of damage on him here. But let's fast forward into Phase 2. So now we made it to Phase 2, and this is the part where I happily hop onto Torrent. I think that it's the best way to avoid his attacks. I struggled through the first 2 times I got into Phase 2, just running around, and then I got on Torrent and beat it very quickly. When you start Phase 2, he's going to explode into that pillar of flame. Just run away from him. He did this 100% of the time for me, but I only did this about 10 times. So if he does something else, definitely let me know in the comments, because I'm super curious about that. After he does the burst of flame, you can see he shoots out the meteors. I just kind of go in on him when he shoots out the meteors. Generally, if you stay close, he's not going to do that, though. It's more of like if you get farther away, because that's when it's actually dangerous. When he does the hand swipe, you want to run towards the side that he's swiping with. I saw him almost always swiping with the right hand, but I was also kind of always staying on his right side, so that may be why I saw him mostly swiping with his right hand. When you break his stance like that, you're going to want to go for his hands. I didn't really see any like gold indicator where I could jump off my horse and do some kind of critical attack. But again, that's something that I'm really curious about, and if somebody knows a better way to do more damage, please let me know in the comments, because I'm interested. But other than that, I mean, Phase 2 is pretty much as simple as Phase 1. There's not that much to look out for. Like, when you see the fire coming up like that, run away. And when he rolls, I guess that's one thing I'd like to mention, is that he'll kind of pump fake to one side, almost as if he's trying to gain some momentum. And so you'll see him rock to the right, and that means he's going to roll to his left side. And same thing when he rocks left. Like right there, that's a great example. He rocks to the right, and I know I'm safe because he's never going to roll the way that he's rocking initially. But if you just keep on slapping away, you'll eventually get big damage like I just did there. I mean, like you just saw, I mean, it was like a tenth of his health just disappeared all at once. I think that this is an interesting boss because it's really one that tests your patience. It can be really difficult if you constantly try to get in and don't respect him. Like, I think Morgott is a boss that you really need to stay in on him. And same thing with Margit, and Godric too for that matter. But this one, I mean, I did stay in on him, but you also really want to give him his space when he starts doing fire moves that are basically unavoidable. And if you just put your head down and be patient and run away when necessary and go for his legs, you can also get this sick Remembrance of the Fire Giant and a very cool spell that also comes along with beating him. If you have any questions about this fight, please leave them in the comments and I will absolutely reply to you. As always, don't forget to like and subscribe, and good luck in the lands between.